as the websites got crunchier and crunchier and crunchier, and I started to get into tree hugger territory, then I started getting other suggestions.
Hi, welcome to Lilies and Tomatoes, your go-to place for simple and practical tips and tricks on how to start a garden all the way through how to use what you grow. This is from my live class that I teach on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on Facebook. If you'd like to attend a live class or ask me a question, check out the link in the description.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my basement workshop, and welcome to my business page. I hope you guys have found everything okay. If we have not met, my name is Quincey Adams, and I want to help you grow some of your own food in a small space on a budget. Today, I am going to be potting up some dwarf moringa seeds that I germinated using the petri dish method. And I will tell you guys a little story about why I try to grow things like moringa, even though it's not it's not a perennial in my zone, and it's going to need special care. All right, so let's get started. So let me shake one of these out for you guys. With the moringa seeds, I came across them on several searches for highly nutritious foods, superfoods that I can grow. What else was I searching? I was searching things like most nutrient-dense foods. A couple times I went into different nutrients, like I was reading up on that kind of stuff, and they were like, oh, vitamin K is really hard to get through foods. I'm like, okay, well, what foods have vitamin K so I can grow the ones that have the most? Those are the moringa seeds, and these are their little root tails. You can see those sticking out. So why I was looking up highly nutritious stuff that you can grow starts back a couple years. I was not doing well physically, like health-wise, not like dying or anything, but like over time I started to become that person who was sick all the time, and I hadn't been that person before, and I was really like not looking forward to or not wanting to do a whole bunch of medications or get tested for a bunch of things. I really wanted to just be like, how much of this can I fix through just better nutrition? So I'm just peeling this a little bit, but still leaving most of the little casing on. Poking a hole with a Sharpie. And this is a mix of, I'll show you guys that real quick. This is coco-coir, perlite, potting mix, and a little bit of sand. So in my attempt to heal my body through nutrition, not medication, I started to, because I was sick all the time, I started to look for things that I could grow that were going to give me the nutrients that I thought that I was lacking in my diet and just in general. And through the type of Google searches that I just mentioned, like looking up stuff that's like most nutrient dense foods, super nutrient dense food, superfoods. When I first started looking, I was getting things like kale, sweet potatoes, garlic, blueberries, parsley, spinach, and I was like, okay, these things are cool. And I started getting seeds for those. And then also during this time, I decided that I was going to try to grow most of my own food, because I was starting to like buy more vegetables at the grocery store, and I noticed that the prices were going up, but you weren't getting anything more. So it's just like, I know how to garden. I should be doing this more strategically instead of just playing. Because before that, like, started gardening in 2002, I was just playing. I grew food, I attempted stuff and Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But I wasn't really concerned if I wasn't successful at growing something because I didn't need to grow my own food. But when I decided that I was going to make 75% of my diet plant-based, then all of a sudden I was just like, either I need to get a really nice job to pay for this, or I need to grow some of this myself. So then I really started focusing on the growing it myself part. And then as I continued my search for very nutritious foods, superfoods, as the websites got crunchier and crunchier and crunchier, and I started to get into tree hugger territory, then I started getting other suggestions. Then the suggestions I started to get for things that I could grow were quinoa, upland cress, watercress, dandelion, Swiss chard, spinach, or I said spinach already, mustard greens, chia, sunchokes, goji berries, microgreens. And it was on those type of searches that I discovered moringa before growing the seeds, or sprouting the seeds. Actually, I haven't grown it yet. I actually started to buy it at the grocery store. I got some powdered moringa and I loved it. I added it to smoothies. I did a lot of research on YouTube. People who have tried it for nutritional purposes, people who've tried it for arthritis. And I was like, okay, moringa is definitely something that I want to get. So I did extensive research on growing moringa, and it turns out that it doesn't really grow well in my zone. It's something that's going to have to be overwintered inside. But I decided if I was going to keep on buying it, I should grow my own because it's going to get really expensive over time. But all those other things that I've mentioned, I don't have seeds for all of them, but I do have seeds for a lot of them. Things like blueberries, I do have a couple blueberry plants that are outside. I have garlic plants outside. Sweet potatoes, we've seen the sweet potatoes, they're outside. Like not planted, they're in the greenhouse, some of them, and the rest of them are upstairs. But I will show you some of the seed packs I got. So I started going through and buying the regular stuff. So I bought stuff like kale. I have all kinds of kale. This is just one variety. I have all kinds of mustards. This is just one variety. I have all kinds of Swiss chard. This is just one variety. Same thing with spinach. There's actually lots of different kinds of spinach, and I'm super glad about that because I eat a lot of spinach. And upland cress, which you can sometimes get in the bagged salad section at Walmart. So that one I actually tried, and I loved it before buying it. I heard about that from a friend. So it's peppery and awesome, and has a lot of vitamin C. If you're looking for something that's to add to your salad, it's a nice little zingy thing. But anyway, there are all kinds of things that are both like mainstream and non-mainstream that you can grow that are really high in nutrition. I definitely recommend, if you're going to grow some of your own food, that you make that part of your goal when you're growing, to make sure that you're growing things that are highly nutritious. It makes everything more rounded, makes everything more rounded out. And if you end up needing to rely on your food, then you want to make sure that the food that you're growing is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, because I'm all about getting the most benefit for the time that I spend. So if you guys don't have any questions, I don't see any questions, then I will let you go there. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you would like to hear me ramble about other things that I grow and why I chose to grow them. And stay safe, stay home, wash your hands, and have a good night. Bye.